Another law enforcement scandal. Two former deputies for the Kern County Sheriff's Office now facing 5 years in prison for their roles in a drug selling scheme as members of the department.
Tonight, 23 ABC's Ivan Rodriguez is joining us now live to explain how disgraced former BPD detective Patrick Mara is connected to this case. Ivan.
Tim, Jackie, both former sheriff deputies Logan August and Derek Penny have admitted to working with former BPD officer Patrick Mara, who's currently in prison. Now, the former deputies pled guilty to conspiracy to distribute and possess with intent to distribute marijuana. Logan August and Derek Penny, the latest subjects to shed light on corruption within narcotics units at both the Sheriff's Department and BPD. According to court documents obtained by 23 ABC News, the pair admitted to federal authorities they were working with Patrick Mara, the BPD detective recently sentenced to 5 years in prison for selling drugs. Court documents show between March and December of 2014, August worked with a confidential informant, taking marijuana plants and processed marijuana from raids with the intent to sell it. During this time, he sold 25 pounds for a profit of $15,000. Penny telling investigators he used KCSO-issued keys to gain access to the department's marijuana storage unit. The two sawed off the ends of some of the marijuana plants and placed the top ends into trash bags. August and Penny left the department in 2014. In the years that followed, the pair working with federal prosecutors to come up with a plea agreement. In the coming weeks, the pair planning to enter guilty pleas to a number of charges, including conspiracy to distribute and possess marijuana to sell. They both face 5 years in prison, the same sentence given to Mara. 23 ABC News tried reaching out to both August and Penny, their lawyers and KCSO, but they've all declined to comment at this time. Both men are set to be back in federal court on May 15th. For more information on this story and a more in-depth look, go to our website, turnto23.com. Live in Oildale, Ivan Rodriguez, 23 ABC News.
And this all coming as both the Sheriff's Office and the Bakersfield Police Department are being investigated by the California Attorney General's office. They're looking into reports of civil rights violations, including excessive use of force and police misconduct. That investigation began in December, and there's no word when it may be finished.
Now to a developing story happening right now. A Frontier High School student arrested in the middle of class today after bringing what was believed to be a gun to school. 23 ABC's Andrew Worth is in Northwest Bakersfield right now with the very latest. Andrew.
Yes, Jackie, this info was coming from viewers on our Facebook page, concerned parents, students. They were giving us this info of a possible student that was taken out of class and arrested for having a firearm on campus, and Kern High School District Police say that that gun now may have been an airsoft gun. Now, when I got here to Frontier High School, I spoke with a few students who are still here, and they say they had no idea what was going on, and that word spread after these pictures appeared on social media Snapchat. One student says he walked into the locker room for his 7th period class, and then in came district police to search through bags and lockers for that possible firearm. And in that statement from the district, they say, quote, law enforcement and administration believe there was no immediate danger to the students and staff as the investigation unfolded this afternoon, end quote. And right now, this investigation is still going on, and what that gun actually was, a firearm. They believe it was an airsoft gun, but as soon as we get more information from the district, we will, of course, make that available to you. Live in Northwest Bakersfield, Andrew Worth, 23 ABC.
New at 5, one of the nation's biggest insurance companies is shutting down a number of its offices, including the one right here in Bakersfield. State Farm Mutual today announcing plans to leave 11 facilities over the next few years. The location in Southwest Bakersfield on Old River Road will close by 2021. The closings will impact about 4,200 of the company's almost 70,000 employees. They'll also have opportunities to move to other State Farm locations, though. The work the closing of facilities have been doing will then move to the company's Illinois headquarters, as well as offices in Atlanta, Dallas, and Phoenix.
An 84-year-old man has been missing since yesterday, and Bakersfield police asking for your help to locate him. Kevan Nguyen was last seen Wednesday morning in Southwest Bakersfield. Nguyen is 84 years old, stands 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighs around 145 pounds, and has brown eyes and gray hair. His picture's on your screen right now. He's considered at risk due to his age. He was wearing a blue baseball cap and a long sleeve gray and blue shirt when he was last seen on Quiet Creek Way near Ming Avenue and Buena Vista Road. If you see him or know where he's at, give Bakersfield Police a call at 327-7111.
5 Kern County people have died or gone missing in local rivers in the past month. And today, Kern County's emergency response team's coming together to talk about safety. It's a story we're working on for 23 ABC News at 6. The County Fire Department, Health Department, Sheriff's Office, and Parks and Rec Department calling for action today. And they are united for a water safety conference. 23 ABC's Adam Bowles was there at that conference. And on 23 ABC News at 6 o'clock, we'll hear what they talked about and why it's so dangerous to go swimming in the rivers right now.
And we broke the record today for our high out there. We got to 103, first triple-digit day of the year for us, and an early one as well in the beginning of May. And you notice our camera, whoa, it's moving a lot, but 20 miles per hour out there. So yes, we are seeing that breeze out there. It's a dry breeze that we're seeing, but notice Arvin at 100 degrees, Oildale at 100 as well, upper 90s for the west side of the county, 71 for Breckenridge, 84 for Tehachapi, and 100 out in California City. So a very hot day here around Kern County for us, and we're still seeing some increasing clouds as well, some high thin clouds, but also you notice over the mountains we're seeing some of those thicker clouds out there. So those clouds are going to be increasing over the next day or so, and we're watching our next storm system move in. We'll talk about how it's going to impact your weekend coming up in a few minutes.
Politics now, and a major victory for President Donald Trump today as the House voted to dismantle parts of the Affordable Care Act and make sweeping changes to the nation's health care system. Bakersfield Congressman and House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy saying this is only the beginning.
If we do nothing, we're going to hear a very loud crowd that people are not having health care. We cannot ignore this problem. They've got to stop playing politics with this. We can solve this problem, and this is the first start of making that happen today.
The bill now heads to the Senate, where it is facing daunting challenges there because of the same ideological splits between conservative and moderate Republicans that nearly killed that bill in the House recently.
Continuing our coverage on that today, Republicans in the House celebrating this victory today. But what does this actually mean for you? 23 ABC's political correspondent Mike Sachs breaks it all down for you.
The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
The House of Representatives has passed the American Health Care Act 217 to 213. It delivers a win for President Trump and Speaker Paul Ryan just a month and a half after the first attempt to repeal and replace Obamacare failed.
Make no mistake, this is a repeal and a replace of Obamacare. Make no mistake about it.
A lot of us have been waiting 7 years to cast this vote. Many of us are here because we pledged to cast this very vote, to repeal and replace Obamacare.
Conservative Republicans thought the original bill didn't go far enough, while moderates opposed it for going too far. But conservatives voted yes today because states don't have to cover maternity services, pediatric care, or prescription drugs, and 7 other categories Obamacare labels essential health benefits. And just enough moderates voted yes, too, after a promise of $8 billion over 5 years to help people afford insurance in states that opt out of pre-existing coverage requirements. Democrats, meanwhile, are predicting a political backlash against Republicans over the prospect of 24 million people losing insurance under the bill.
You have every provision of this bill tattooed on your forehead. You will glow in the dark on this one. You will glow in the dark. You will glow in the dark. So don't walk the plank, especially unnecessarily.
But they did do it. And now the effort moves to the Senate, which is expected to make significant changes to the bill if the slim Republican majority there hopes to achieve anything before leaving in 3 weeks for recess.
And here in town, several groups protesting at David Valadeo's office while the vote was going on, saying more than 100,000 21st District constituents are reliant on the Affordable Care Act. The Young Progressive Coalition, Mobilize Kern, Democratic Women of Kern, the Kern County Democratic Central Committee, and Democratic Veterans of Kern came to the Republican representative's office today.
Valadeo's actions today showed that he had no regard for the 120 congregations that we represent across the Central Valley, from Faith in the Valley, from Selma to Arvin to Delano to McFarland to East Bakersfield, where he represents.
The protesters concerned the new legislation will cut subsidies, limit access, and throw out protections for the elderly and people with pre-existing conditions.
We'll switch gears here, and graduation season is here. And as the class of 2017 gets ready to cross the stage, many at Cal State Bakersfield concerned about who will witness that big day. 23 ABC's Alicia Patillo live on the campus there, where students and staff sounding off about changes to those graduation tickets. Alicia.
Yeah, Tim, that's right. Many graduates will be graduating just across this field here in 2 weeks. And while it's supposed to be the biggest day of their life, they're really disappointed.
The challenges of a first-generation student are tough.
I am the first in my mother's children graduating.
Her family's dream is coming true.
I basically just made it, and I'm graduating. Everybody's coming. You know, everybody's going to be able to come and watch me walk on graduation.
On May 19th, Karen will cross the stage and receive her diploma in criminal justice from CSUB.
Out of all of our efforts, it takes a village, and it really did take my entire family's support and just pushing me, and now it's just changing right at the last minute.
2 weeks out, and graduation is changing.
They said that tickets were not going to be necessary for the graduation.
No tickets. That's what CSUB originally said for this year's commencement, meaning anyone was welcome to attend.
The university actually sent us an email saying that due to an unprecedented amount of people graduating this year and an unprecedented amount of estimated guests attending the graduation, they now had to go back on their word.
Now the university only allowing 5 tickets per graduating student. Other guests will have to file into the Icardo Center and watch on. The news didn't sit well with the class of 2017, many taking to Facebook to express their disappointments.
I found out just like every other graduating senior found out, and that was through an email around 5 o'clock yesterday.
As a voice for the students and graduating senior himself, Alex needed to get to the bottom of it. After several meetings with officials, here's what he found out. 17,000 guests have RSVP'd for this graduation. That's not including the faculty, staff, or students who are graduating. CSUB simply did not expect that many guests.
This commencement ceremony should be a celebration. It shouldn't be something that our students are having to stress over or worry about.
Alex says the university is doing what they can to come up with a solution. As for Karen, she told her family to just wait.
It puts everything on hold.
I did speak with officials just a minute ago, and they told me that they're doing everything they can to find a solution before May 19th. Reporting live at CSUB, Alicia Patillo, 23 ABC.
A surprising delivery. Drug dealers turning to the post office to help them get their products out. The troubling trend across the United States and the world.
And hot weather all across Kern County, but a very big cool down in our forecast. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Tonight, President Trump declaring victory. His plan to repeal and replace Obamacare passing the House by 1 vote. What it could mean now for millions. And Delta responding tonight after kicking a family off with their kids, warning they could lose their children if they don't get off. Coming up.
The drug abuse epidemic continues in the U.S., and now dealers are turning to a new silent way of selling their products. They're not trading it in shady parts of town. Instead, they're using the mail and possibly in your neighborhood. Small amounts often go unnoticed by police. The post office says it ships too many packages to scan each one. Dealers, often in China or India, ship through regular mail to a user's front door, hiding it in magazines and shipping it to an abandoned house, even to a neighbor.
Residents that maybe even, unbeknownst to them, that a package is being dropped on their doorstep.
Last fiscal year, the Customs and Border Patrol busted 27,000 international packages, all with drugs inside.
Leah Freeman joining us now on this so lovely day, I think. But we're in the hundreds today.
Yeah, it's we hit that mark today, and in the beginning of May. We don't usually see it this early, usually later on in the month. But yes, today we got to 103 for our high, 102 right now out there with moderate air quality. But you'll notice our camera moving back and forth quite a bit. We're at 20 miles per hour for those winds, so still a little breezy out there as well, and it's just a dry breeze that we're seeing today. So 103 for for our high, the record. We broke the record, and we also reached our first triple-digit day of the year. We haven't seen one this early since 2004, so two big things there. But yes, the average we usually see around mid-May into the June period. So our temperatures right now, we're still at 100 for Oildale, 99 Lamont, upper 90s for Taft and Maricopa, upper 80s for Wofford Heights and up in the Kern River Valley, 84 for Tehachapi. So comfortable and nice in those areas, a little bit warmer off in our area in the eastern part of the county, 98 for Ridgecrest, 93 for Mojave, and 93 down towards Lancaster. So that ridge of high pressure right over us, and that's going to start to break down as we head into our Friday here, and then this system out in the Pacific is going to swing a cold front through, and that's what's really going to shake up our temperatures over the next couple of days and into our weekend. So tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo out there, we have 90 degrees for our high out there. But yes, so still warm, still above normal. It's still 10 degrees above normal for us, but cooler than what we're seeing today. We're also going to be seeing those increasing clouds throughout the day, more